Welcome to DAI Headlines. I'm Anthony Carlisle. Thank you for joining us. First up in Tzu news today, besides tending to quake victims in the worst affected area of Wenchuan in Sichuan province, Tzu's aid relief team headed to the second worst hit area of Hongbai, near the Shifang city. More than 90% of the township's buildings have collapsed and numerous lives have been lost. In the central elementary school, over 100 teachers and students were killed. Unable to remove the bodies, many were buried on site, creating a potential health hazard.
The road to Hongbai Township has only just been cleared, and military police and PLA soldiers are out in force, making a sharp contrast to residents sitting on the rubble of their ruined houses. The picturesque scenery of Hongbai was robbed of its beauty on May 12th, as the earthquake destroyed buildings and buried families.
The house was swaying back and forth. It was so scary. We were all crying.
Searching for survivors in the ruin, aid relief teams are looking for any chance to reduce the death toll. Completely wiped off the face of the earth, the Hongbai Central Elementary School building took away the lives of more than half of its 200 teachers and students.
The bodies were everywhere. There were so many children, too. They were all just students.
Pictures of young lives ended by the sudden quake are a reminder of the tragedy that hit Hongbai. Many bodies that could not be cremated were hastily buried on site. Worried that body fluids may leak into the underground water system and cause an epidemic situation for residents drinking it, city volunteers are standing by to give quake victims any assistance they are able to provide.
In earthquake-hit Sichuan, Tzu's disaster relief team has organized its second distribution of aid in the city of Shifang. Many residents are sleeping on the streets or taking shelter in temples. In the badly damaged Women and Children's Hospital, staff set up beds and an operating theatre in the courtyard of a local temple. A baby cries at Shifang Women and Children's Hospital, which was damaged by the Sichuan earthquake. Mothers and infants must take shelter under canvas, while the delivery rooms are housed in a few of the better tents. While the Tzu team takes a look at the facilities, another baby is born. A desk doubles as an operating table and an electric fan stirs the stuffy air inside. Excited and anxious, Mr. Zhang looks in on his wife and child. His only home destroyed by the earthquake, the new father also has to cover medical expenses. In the hospital tent, a total of 12 infants have been born since the quake. After the latest arrival, the head nurse faints from exhaustion.
For the
last few days, medical staff have not been eating or sleeping properly. At the point of exhaustion, the nurses receive some comfort from Tzu volunteers. This only scrapes the surface of life at the hospital after the earthquake. Every day, similar stories are played out. As more and more victims flood into Shifang Hospital, staff can only grit their teeth, wipe away their tears, and try to keep going. Early Sunday morning, a magnitude 5 aftershock terrified sleeping people in Jinshan township. Bringing relief to quake victims, the first group of volunteers from the Philippines arrived in Sichuan to bolster Tzu's aid force. The team brought with them food, supplies and emotional support.
Gusts of wind in the morning nearly collapsed the crudely built tent. Sichuan residents climbed up onto the top to piece back their temporary shelter. The May 12th earthquake that destroyed their houses haunts them like an unceasing nightmare.
I was terrified. At the time, I didn't know what to do.
Gale force wind and heavy rain ransacked the area throughout the night. Worse yet, a magnitude 5 tremor occurred at 1 o'clock in the morning. Residents sat through the night in intense uncertainty and were finally able to calm down upon seeing the Tzu volunteers in the morning.
We are really happy to see you come all the way here to help us. We feel so much better already.
On the third day of Tzu Ji's relief efforts in the Jinshan township, scores of local residents have set aside their grief to work as volunteers. In order to reach out to more quake victims, the first group of volunteers from the Philippines entered Sichuan to offer their service. Volunteers distribute biscuits and bottled water according to the number of people per household. As an elderly woman recounts her horrifying quake experience, volunteers quickly lend a shoulder for her to cry on.
It pains my heart to know what she's been through, because I see her as my own parent. There has got to be more that we can do to help.
Carrying a hefty load of water with apparent ease, 21-year-old Philippine volunteer Huang Danian comes from a wealthy family. This is his first relief experience. He has come to learn to appreciate his abundance by engaging with the misery left by the earthquake.
I have not encountered hardship in my life. This is the first time. I would like to use my abilities to help others in the future.
Visiting household by household, volunteers are determined to deliver aid to all afflicted people in the disaster area. This network of love is spreading across the township, signifying hope and rebirth for quake-struck regions.
In Jinshan township of Sichuan, Tzu Ji volunteers taught local school children the sign language song One Family. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Da Headlines. Goodbye.